Welcome everyone to CivicCAD Learning Solutions Help video. In this video, I'm going to go back over our CCLS spot grading app. It's one of our popular apps. In this presentation here, I've got an example of an older project I worked on way back when I was a corporate CAD manager. This is out around the Houston area, I believe. And this was I think maybe possibly a 50 acre, 30 acre, somewhere between 30 and 50 acre, 28 building apartment complex. And so I remember working on this project. It took a while to do the grading, the detailed grading that was going on around the apartment complexes and amenity centers and sidewalks, and then spot grading this. You can see it could probably take a while to spot grade something this large, especially with 28 buildings and stuff, so a lot of drives and park aisles. But anyway, let's go through that process, how quickly I can now do this with our CCLS Productivity Tools. So I'm actually in the grading sheet. So you can actually spot grade in the actual design base, or you can actually spot grade in the grading sheet. So for this example, I'm going to spot grade in the grading sheet. So the feature lines have been turned off and stuff. I'm just going to spot grade the gutter lines and maybe some of the flow lines. So if I go our CCLS Productivity Tools and then go to Vertices, I'll select S for the setting to select the spot grade. And there we go. We got our top of curb and gutter. And I'm going to select the 2D or 3D or line that's coming through the XREF. I'll click OK. Select the surface. I will select the surface coming in. I think it's a data shortcut. And then we'll type in Y for the layer. And then we're going to go to gutters. I think it's a site pavement gutter. Yep, there it is right there. And we'll click OK. And then I'll just hit enter. And there we go. As you can see, everything has been spot graded through the model. So let's see how many spot labels we just added within a couple seconds. So select similar, label properties, and we just added 748 spot labels within the site model. And then I can turn around and do it for the sidewalks. Another cool feature you can do is the slopes. I want to label slopes wherever you have slope arrows, maybe between inlets within the road. So let's go through that process. So if I go to the pull down here, there's an option for segments. You do have to set up a slope label style. And so I'm going to come in here and I'm going to turn on the feature lines just for this portion. Okay. All right, and notice here I do have a style called CCLS Flowline. Okay, that is the style of my feature line for my swell that I want to label. So I got some here. Here's some more just for an example in the middle of the road going to the inlets. And I want to label this all at one time. So if I go into my CCLS tools, select segments. Okay, and then I'll type in S to select the style. So there's my style. See this grading slope arrow. Click OK. Then back to N for my style, and I'll select the CCLS flow line, okay, and then pick one of your feature lines and hit enter. And there we go. So you can see I got slope arrows all along my feature line pointing to the direction of the slope also. All along here, the roads, everything has been labeled for a long, oh, I do have a little curve here. I actually had the curve turned on, labels. But yes, you can see everywhere along the road. Now you can change the vertices if you have a situation like this. We got a lot of vertices in here. You can go back and change those vertice values and stuff. So, but yeah, I do have my labels be plan readable. So if I go into the sheet here, you can see the labels now been flipped, and then I can move it now within the model. So this is just a quick way to drastically cut down on your time, especially when you're dealing with spot grading. For large projects, big large subdivisions, or large, maybe a large light industrial project, the amount of saving you get is pretty drastic, So, but anyway, thanks for using our app, and stay tuned for our next video. All right, thanks. Bye.